Well, hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Mark on Motoring, where tonight we are at the Motorist in Sherburn and Helmet, but this time we're here for Careers and Classic, an event I can't normally get to because I'm usually at work, but I've got an unexpected night off, so here we are. And it's quite early on, but already we've got some great cars here, such as this Reliant Scimitar GTE, another Volvo 240 GLT that arrived shortly after me, so another car I'll be having a good look round at. But yeah, a lot of older cars arriving too. Bmw 528i, I think I may have seen that car before at a recent show, but again, a lot to see here at the Motorist, so let's go have a good look round. First car when we come in the gate is this fantastic Alfa Romeo 1300 Sprint. Now, I don't think I've actually seen one of these in the metal before, and this one looks exquisite. Also a member of the Alfa Romeo Owners Club. Really nice car. We've got some nice period accessories in there as well. Always some little details that really set off a car. Fantastic. The Peugeot 205 CTI. Now, I'm a huge fan of 205s. They're very much my era and a car I always liked. Obviously 205 GTIs are becoming very expensive now, and I would imagine these are no different. Oh, Fat Willies. Remember those stickers being all the rage. Obviously been a convertible, we've got a good view inside here as well. We've got the half leather interior in this one, and that iconic 3-spoke steering wheel. I do like these facelift car dashboards as well. I think they're much better than the earlier 205s. So H registration put us around 1990, 91. Oh, and yellow fogs as well. French cars and yellow fogs. I have a somewhat heavily modified Toyota Supra. Looks like there's a lot of work being done under the bonnet of this car. I can't remember the last time I actually saw one of these that weren't modified. A 1993-ish Mark II Toyota MR2, and this fantastic sort of dark metallic purple colour. I don't know if this is a standard colour, I don't remember ever seeing any like this. Again, the car's not completely standard, obviously this one's a T-bar model as well, but generally not as heavily modified as some I've seen on the exterior, but there certainly looks to have been some work done under here. Probably one of my favourite Japanese cars, well, of any time. Now, a Sierra RS500 Cosworth, and understandably getting quite a lot of attention. Wow. And this car is immaculate under here, as you can imagine. I would expect this certainly hasn't seen any rally stages, unlike the cars that they were homologating. Quite an iconic model in the Ford range, although they have got quite a few iconic cars. But yeah, those probably one of the most distinctive features being that whale tail on the back. We've also got a Mark I Volkswagen Golf Cabriolet with a set of very, very wide wheels on. Also trimmed out in beige leather. We have this fantastic Volvo 850 T5R, and this lovely dark metallic green, which looks really good against with this dark leather interior in there as well, which is really, really nice. A very understated looking car, as Volvos often were. But yeah, I really, really like that. I've definitely seen this Lotus before. I think this was here at a recent event one of the Wednesday night Wings and Wheels. But yeah, definitely fits in here at Korean Classics. We've got a roll cage and a fire extinguisher there, so I don't know whether this car ever sees any competition use. Got this Club Lotus sticker in there, and Small Owners Club stickers. Fantastic. And these really don't weigh anything. Of course, not all cars use lightness, some just go for power, like this Mustang. We've got a little gap in the window here so we can see inside. An automatic transmission in this one. Not sure, I'm guessing the steering wheel is aftermarket, I could be wrong. And the ever popular Viper stripes. Very cool car. Ah, here we go. Austin 16, 1946. And potentially for sale. Now the Alfa 1300 Sprint is not the only Alfa Romeo here tonight. We've got this lovely 916. So regular viewers of the channel probably know that I'm quite a fan of, well, I'd actually really like a 916 GT V6. Obviously I was probably looking for the hard top model as opposed to a Spider, but these are really nice. As is this Porsche 911 Targa. So obviously these cars were quite known in period for having gauges that you couldn't see behind the wheel. But still pretty iconic and cool anyway. So Korean Classics is generally an event for cars of well, up to 2000. Obviously this Astra GSI is very slightly out of there, but still an increasingly rare sight on our roads now, especially ones that have not been heavily modified. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the spec of these cars should be, but I would say this looks fairly true to the factory specification. So I do remember those big wings I had on the back. But, quite a quick car in the day. So even here a Bmw Z3, again just sort of making the cut I suppose in terms of age, but again a car I haven't seen one of these for quite some time. Maybe motorcycles are more your thing, like this Honda or this fantastic Norton on display here. Here we have the Motorist very own Mark 1 Transit, which looks in fantastic condition and looks really nice in this period shade of blue to GTI in black, with the iconic grille with the 4 spot lamps and the red piping around the grille and bumpers. Maybe not completely standard, we've got some bucket seats in here, though I do like how they've got this check design, which does echo the original specification seats. You can also just about spy in the back of there, we've had a rear seat delete and we've got a roll cage in there with racing harnesses. We've even got tartan around the gear lever. A mono steering wheel we've got in there. Otherwise the dash looks fairly standard. The Sony radio cassette is probably slightly newer than the car, but I wouldn't think by very much. Also got a nice sliding sunroof as well in this car. And again, for a car that's now best part of probably 31 years old, it does look in excellent condition. Another car we've covered on the channel before we've seen here is this Honda logo. The not a very common car in the UK at all, even in period, let alone now. So we've got my own car I came in, the Megane Coupe 1.6e Fiji. Next to another Mark 1 Mx-5, one of two I've seen here since arriving. Again, this one It does look to be a little modified. Would this be a UNOS version? Obviously, depending on your country of origin, the cars did go under different names. So we had the Miata if you're in America, MX-5 in the UK, and in Japan these were known as the UNOS, which this one is. The UNOS Roadster. Again, we've got a hardtop on here and we've got a roll cage in there as well. Obviously, these are known for being very good handling cars, so understandably quite a few of them now probably have been converted for track use. So staying with Japanese cars, we've got a K11 Micra on Japanese style plates as well. Now again, this car does look to be slightly modified, as many of these old Japanese cars do seem to be now. But the seat and upholstery looks fairly original and in quite good condition. Obviously, in period, these cars did tend to find favour with, shall we say, an older generation of driver. So if you do pick one of these cars up now, a lot of them probably are quite low mileage. So next up we have the Volvo 240 GLT, of which behind there we've got Hillman. So this one being a Hillman Minx. I don't really know these cars especially well, but quite interesting actually what the instruments appear to be in the centre of the dash on this model as well. Obviously they are a saloon car, but they do look quite surprisingly compact actually. I do love that bench seat in there as well. So again, just making the cut for pre-2000s is this Saab 9.3, one of the early 9.3s following the 900. This one is marked awaiting preparation here at the Motorist. I think I've seen this one actually in the showroom previously. But, oh, and look, still got headlamp wipers. Whatever happened to headlamp wipers? Moving on to a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow 2, and this fantastic dark blue. Oh, and again, we've got the headlamp wash wipe system. We've got brushes on this one, as opposed to a blade. That maybe that's for the curve of the glass on the headlamps. But, yes, this one looks quite nice. Not all Rolls-Royces of this era are in particularly good condition, but as well as of any car of this age. But this one does look very nice indeed. Obviously, see if we can see inside. We'll probably just get the reflection of the glass. So as we saw, there was the Mazda UNOS. This one is the Mazda Mx-5, as they were known here in the UK, and this one is badged as a Berkeley. Not sure what the Berkeley got you, but I mean, this car does look to have a two-tone leather interior in there. We've also got a mono steering wheel. So whether that was part of the Berkeley specification, I don't know. And got a luggage rack by the look of it there as well. It does look quite nice in this green as well. Something that is much newer is this Mercedes and this Porsche. A Triumph Spitfire, and I do quite like the look of these. Would I go for one of these or an MGB? I don't know, but yeah, I'm quite fond of this design. Got our British Leyland roundel in there as well. Yeah, it's quite a nice little interior. So Spitfire 1500. Now, if I do recall, in the TV series, the Grimleys, Brian Connolly, I think it was, played the part of a PE teacher who actually drove one of these. Now, I do seem to recall him saying that a proper man drove a Triumph Spitfire, as his character did. So ever popular as a Mini, this one being around 1990-91. Again, I think I may have seen this car here before. We've got our Union flag up on top as well. Racing Flame Checkmate. Now I know they did a Flame and they did a Checkmate Mini. So whether they did a Racing Flame Checkmate, I don't know. Mr. Bill at Wolves Wheels, if you're watching, our resident Mini expert, maybe could tell us a little bit more. Oh, and also a member of the British Mini Club. Oh, I think this car may even be for sale. Look. Oh, look at that, and we've even got the Union flag design continued on the dash. Got some drilled aluminium pedals in there, and well, a modern by Mini standards head unit. I do like all this door furnishings on here, these aluminium style door pulls and window winders. Obviously this one's been has a few exterior modifications as well. In the late 1990s, Citroen Saxos and Corsa Bs were quite often the vehicle of choice for many young male drivers in particular. This one being the Furio. I do vaguely remember these. Basically they looked a lot like the VTR and VTSs. In fact, the wheels on this do look to be the same as on the VTR. I'm not sure if these actually came with alloys as standard or if they had steel wheels. I do quite like the design of this interior as well. So a dark trim, looks like we've got some, camera's probably not picking up, but we've got a blue and green design into that seat there, and a yellow piping, which sets it off quite nice. We've also got this nice yellow gear lever top as well, which sort of matches this orangey yellow colour on the vehicle. The car I was talking to the owner of earlier was this nice Scimitar GTE, and quite a low mileage example as well for considering its age. It's yeah, and apparently all the gauges and everything work in here, which is remarkable for any British car of this era. Now, a car that I would expect to be in good working order would be this Nissan Figaro, because obviously Japanese cars generally are known for being quite reliable. Now the Figaro, if I'm not mistaken, was based around the K10 Micra, so, or the original old boxy one to many of us. Now we've quite interesting actually, I can see in there we've got a radio cassette CD that's actually looks like a very early integrated system, which, considering the age of this car, this one being a 1991, I think these cars were around from about 89 if I'm not mistaken. If you do happen to know any different, do let me know. But yeah, basically a then modern car with classic 1950s styling. Automatic transmission as well. I believe there was all like that, but again, I could be wrong. Now these are a car that do divide opinion, but they do seem to be gaining a bit of a following now. So here are the Mercedes 200e in white. Genuine Mercedes wheels, but they look actually enormous for a car of this era. Oh, I love the sticker for the Scorpion alarm system there, look. So typically understated Germanic styling. I do remember these quite well. In fact, I had a neighbour who had a 190e, a white one that looked quite sporty. Now, Lancia Fulvia Zagato, I did actually feature a black one on my Festival Italia video part 2, so if you like your Fulvia Zagatos, I actually had an interview with an owner, so by all means check that out if you haven't done already. So that was a black one, this one in red, and I was actually talking to the owner earlier, who also runs a Fiat Coupe. Now this car certainly caught my attention when it came in. Porsche 911 2.7 Carrera, I believe an RS. Obviously done to race specification again. Got roll cage in there, fire extinguisher, bucket seats. So I dread to think what one of these is worth these days. I would imagine probably quite a lot. So again, as you know, cars of the 80s and 90s are very much my era, and things like these, these two Escort Convertibles, actually XR3 or RS specification. I think the white one looks like an XR3, the blue one looks like an RS. I don't know if they ever did an RS, so whether that's standard or whether it's had RS bits put on it, I couldn't tell you. Perhaps if we've got any Ford people watching, maybe you could drop me a comment and let me know, because I would be very interested to know. Obviously interesting with these convertible Escorts as well, these tail lamps are different to on the hatchback. The hatchbacks had quite a high load lip. Now if you'd have put that on the convertibles, the access to the rear would have been very restricted. So these actually look like the estate tail lamps. I don't know if they are the same or not, but they certainly do look that way. So obviously we do have a few cars starting to leave as we begin to lose the light a little bit here. So sadly, as we go into autumn and then into winter, events like this will be few and far between, probably be more weekend only, sadly. Of course, the DeLorean was most famous for Back to the Future, but by that point I think production had already been suspended on these models. So obviously DeLorean was an American who opened a factory in Northern Ireland, and the rest of the story is somewhat controversial, but we were left with the legacy of this stainless steel gull-wing doored car with its rear engine. I believe a lot of parts borrowed from a Renault 25 as well, but still incredibly iconic. A VW Corrado. A friend of mine actually had one of those, a 2 litre 16 valve one. I think that one might actually be a VR6. Anyway, we're getting distracted again, so sun's setting on us here at the Motorist, so it's almost time to say farewell once again. Again, if you've enjoyed this video, please do give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss more videos as they come. Thank you again for watching. Goodbye for now.